Jonathan Kuminga has been on an absolute tear as of lately, averaging 15.5 points on 60% shooting and 43% behind the arc in the last 9 games. There's so many factors that may have influenced this recent play from him, such as Steve Kerr finally playing him consistent minutes, which has been mainly due to the Draymond suspension and Wiggins getting benched. You could also say that the coaching staff is finally running the correct lineups for Kuminga in the game, as he's spending way more time on the floor with Curry and Klay, which spaces the floor for him to attack the paint. Also, they are just running more plays for him, such as feeding him in the post and running more pick and rolls with him. Finally, I think Curry's leadership has done a lot to raise Kuminga's confidence as a player. Remember when Kuminga didn't play the entire first half versus the Trailblazers? It was Steph who was talking to him on the bench to keep his head up. After Kuminga exploded for 13 points in 17 minutes to help the Warriors win the game in the second half, Curry praised Kuminga's approach to the game, saying, "If he doesn't do what he did, stay ready, show maturity, we lose this game." Fast forward to Kuminga's clutch stop against Tatum to force overtime, it was once again Curry who walked up to Kuminga, this time to hype him up and congratulate him for his effort. No matter if Kuminga was at a low or high point, it was Steph who was always there for him. Having a top 10 player of all time constantly in your ear can do wonders for your confidence. Anyways, while we can say these factors influence Kuminga's recent play, Kuminga himself has taken really strong strides in the improvement of his own game. Let's check it out. Over these last 9 games, the strongest improvement of Kuminga's game has no doubt been his decision making. Kuminga has really kept his game simple. He'll attack the paint if he has a mismatch or is on an island with a defender. He has really taken initiative of driving to the basket when he's in the open floor or when he thinks he can bully his defender. In this play, Kuminga literally waves off Klay and gets help off his Steph's screen, which leaves him to ISO against Jaylen Brown, which results in a nice looking dunk. Most of the time, Kuminga has utilized his strength to play bully ball, which usually ends up with a high percentage shot. If this was at the beginning of the season, Kuminga would be spamming spin moves and probably put up a tough fadeaway. But now he realizes that all he has to do is go baseline and power his way to the rim. Kuminga has also gotten some really good spacing when he's on the floor as of recently. Just being in a lineup that can shoot really helps his offense. In this lineup versus the Wizards, Kuminga is surrounded by shooting with Podziemski, Hall, Saric, and Klay out on the perimeter. He's got Corey Kispert on him, who he can easily attack, so he does. Mike Muscala is unable to help because that would end up in an open Saric 3, so Kuminga is able to convert a strong finish to the rim. It's good spacing like this that can really maximize Kuminga's game. One thing all season he's been doing well though has been his ability to draw contact and get to the free throw line. This year, he's averaging a career high 3.6 attempts per game, and something tells me that will only continue to go up. One thing he'll have to work on is actually knocking down his free throws, as he's only shooting 65% at the line. He started really well this season, shooting 75% in his last 12 games, but he has only been shooting 52% since then, which is not great by any means. He needs to do better. Moving on, Kuminga's improved decision making has also improved his playmaking. He's been making the right pass every time to the open shooter, and he's been passing up good shots for even better shots. His ability to be patient in the paint and keep his head up when he drives has led to him finding the open shooter in the corner. Once again, this is where playing with Steph and Klay helps tremendously, because now Kuminga has more freedom in the paint, and if help comes, he's got 2 of the greatest shooters of all time to kick it out to. Furthermore, he's also realized that a simple pass is often the best pass, and he's not trying to do too much. In this play, Kuminga could easily take the shot, but he kicks it out to Klay for the higher percentage shot. Although it seems like a basic decision, these kinds of decisions can affect the game in the long run. Because he's been sticking to making the easy passes, he's also lowered his turnovers, only averaging 1 per game in the last 9. Another facet he has looked great in has been his defense. He's been much more active on the perimeter, such as playing the passing lanes, which has led to him getting some breakaway fast break dunks. He's also been really good guarding one-on-one, which has led to some really clutch defensive possessions, such as being able to stay on Tatum to get a good enough contest, and also his recovery effort contest on Mikal Bridges. Judging by his body type, there was never a doubt that Kuminga couldn't be a good defender, and it seems like he's finally getting the pieces connected. It's great to see Steve Kerr trusting Kuminga to guard the best player on the other team. It probably gives Kuminga a lot of confidence. Lastly, Kuminga has been solid on the boards. He had a few great looking putback attempts against the Wizards Friday night that resulted in a putback dunk and a putback layup. While I don't think he's at the level of rebounding as Brandon Podziemski or even Moses Moody, his efforts still shouldn't be unnoticed. But I think this is a facet of his game where I actually do think he can be better though. Imagine if Kuminga, who has freak athletic abilities and hops, had the type of drive on the boards as Podziemski. We might be seeing a guy that's averaging 5 offensive rebounds per game. That's the next part of his game that I would like to see him improve in. He's shown at times he can be a beast on the boards, it's just a matter of being consistent at it. With how well Kuminga has been playing, he's really making a strong case to stay in the starting lineup once Draymond comes back. What's so great about this year's Warriors team is that there's so many players who deserve to be getting played lots of minutes, and that has given Steve Kerr lots of options to test out lineups and close out games with who has played the best. I think Steve Kerr has done a better job with handling the rotation as of lately, as he's not been afraid to play the younger players more, even at the expense of the veterans' minutes. This is what the team always needed. The competition for minutes has led to the improvement of the team's overall performance. If players know that their minutes can be taken away by someone working harder than them, then they are more likely to play with urgency and put more effort into the game. We saw that with Klay Thompson, who was benched in the second half versus the Suns. Steve Kerr basically sent the message that Klay needed to be better and that he shouldn't take his starting role and minutes for granted. Ever since, Klay has been playing the best basketball he has this season. Anyways, I'm excited to see Jonathan Kuminga continue his great play. It's quite inspiring how he has stayed matured and patient all season, and he has finally been rewarded for it. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and thanks for watching, and go Warriors.